Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha. Oh, jeez. I think instead of buying me a cup of coffee, maybe we should buy me some ginkgo. So yesterday I do the video sex tapes thinking, yay, gonna do another Deftones. I'm looking at my list and stuff and, well, wouldn't you know it, I already did it. I got some of the funniest comments. Like instead of the key of G, how about the key of A for Alzheimer's? I was like, oh shit. Oh my God, I'm a mess. Anyhow, I got this right. I made sure I didn't do this. We're doing Deftones Hexagram. Oh, I should suck. Anyhow, so let's get on with it. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for some of you who sent me like a special like DM going, dude, you already did it, man. That's it. That's it. Maybe there's other reasons why my short-term memory is a little out there. Anyhow, Hexagram by Deftones. If you do want to support the channel, because you know when the advertisement runs, it's a copyright claim by the bands. They deserve to make money, but it doesn't make me any money here on the channel, not monetizing it. So if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or ginkgo, the link will be down below. The link for Deftones merch and Spotify will be down below as well. All right, let's do this. All right, Hexagram by Deftones. All right. I hate to cut him off in the middle of that scream there, but that's the first thing I'm going to hit on is what an intense, I mean absolutely intense vocal performance. I haven't, of all the other Deftones that I've done and that I've I've done, I haven't heard that from Chino. I think it's because, you know, just because I'm getting involved in a band because of this channel, I don't necessarily dive deeper into some of their other music until, you know, I get an opportunity to listen to more on this channel, because it's the fun thing is to share that first time listen. But what an incredible scream, growl, scream, power. I mean, just hearing that is making my voice hoarse, only because you know what I do with the kids in ventriloquism, manipulating the vocal cords. So like, for instance, Brandon's character, if I talk, hey, how you doing? Like this for about 2 seconds, I'm already kind of sore. I can't imagine performing this. Incredible performance. Obviously can't hear the lyrics, and you know that's not my jam anyhow on a first listen. It's just listening to the musicians. Now, the very beginning, a few times you may have heard me talk about in engineering the many different signals that a lot of times engineers will do, sometimes just to back themselves up, or in this case, if you listen to the opening guitar phrase, it's a very clean sound in the middle, okay? And it has a little bit of the distortion pulled out left and right. So in my mind as an engineer, you have that clean sound that could be coming clean out of the head, and then affecting it on the way out. It could be with a stomp pedal or something, and putting it on 2 separate channels. It's also very possible that it was played twice. So you have the clean sound that's being played first, and then you have kind of an affected, distorted sound. distorted sound going hard left and right, which I really dug that. For me as an engineer, I was able to just kind of go, oh, I dig that. You know, I start doing my decomposing. Then they established that riff, hardcore riff, that comes in. But Chino, with what he's doing in the background, to me was more of an effective rhythmical arrangement, being that I couldn't hear any lyrics or anything and I'm not focusing in on it. And he's also back in that mix. His vocal performance is so intense that it probably, even though he's, you know, surrounded by giant, you know, if you theater of the mind, if you've got the guitar player and the bass player and all those super powerful loud instruments, his performance is just as powerful and electric. And I don't mean electric in the signal, just insane. So if you were to take his vocal and push it up any hotter, it would have taken away, without a doubt, from the mix dynamics of it. You know, so that's the first thing that I noticed with it. And so let's go on a little more. Shim shim, go back a little bit. Okay, let me just rinse on that really quick. Super powerful decision by the drummer to perform it that way through that passage. You know, so actually in essence, if this is the tempo, da-da-da, 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 you know, if that's the tempo, if he was to have played it straight through and da-da-da, it still would have been just as cool, but it went either double time, unless the time was set as, which is very possible. But what he's elected to do is actually follow in unison what's happening with that riff. You know, in the hi-hat, you know, that's just an amazing thing about drummers. I was never that good as a drummer. I mean, I got away with you know, what I could, but to keep that left foot going, the hi-hat holding, you know, the straight eighths or something, while there's a and then straightens that a little bit and goes back into it. So that makes it just as powerful with that riff. So by virtue of what I'm saying is by virtue of the decision of the drummer, or you know, who maybe somebody wrote the song and say, hey, could you play it this way or something? As a band, maybe they build their songs together. That decision to go it was night and day compared to you know. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Stand by. I haven't figured out yet how to go back and forth on Spotify by using, it doesn't work like YouTube, so sorry about that. It's a little more sloppier. Okay, before we let this fade out, you know, that phrase that they're playing right now, da 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 da. There are probably 3 different hooks that would keep you locked into a track like this. One is they obviously established the most powerful, I guess, arrangement of the track with the opening, which is the same. It's a da da da, the chords that they're playing, except what they do is they shift around the dynamics. So at the very beginning, it was a clean guitar with, hard left and right, kind of a distorted effect that was going on. And then even as they move forward through that, the next real, hook bomb is the riff. That riff in of itself repeats itself through the track as well. But what they do, and what's brilliant about songs like this and production and composition like this, is how do you take a phrase and then build upon it as it, moves through the journey of the song. And we've talked about this before, how a lot of times when you listen to songs, really, it's going to be an intro, it might be a verse, maybe a turnaround, and then the hook or the chorus. Then you take that phrase and, you do it again, because what you want to do is build familiarity with the song. I mean, that's the nature of songwriting. It doesn't mean that that's how it always goes. God knows, listen to all the, the prog rock and all the different kinds of songs that we've listened to on this journey. That definitely doesn't mean that's how it's always done. Sometimes they open up with a hook and then bring you down and, through it. So, you move those parts around. But the fact of the matter is they keep changing the arrangement as they move this around. And what they did in that part where it all went was just a nice, clean guitar, very warm tone, very nice, clean guitar. But then Chino, heavily affected voice pulled back. And I don't know if there could be many different ways that they got that sound, whether it's him singing through, a series of pedals or anything like that, or it could be in a post effect series of plugins or whatever. But they pulled that maneuver on us in this journey by taking it and going up, and then bringing us down into this like kind of emotional tunnel. And then there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because you could feel that, right? You could feel when the changes are happening. A lot of people say, hey, how you really have a sense of stopping, at the right place. Well, it's just all of us have that sense where we're all going to think, is the change coming now? Even if you're not a musician, because most of you are the pure listeners. So anyhow, I wanted to rinse on that. And my God, that voice of his, there's those long screams that are so visceral. And so you can hear it because he's breaking at the top. That last note on a couple passes, you can hear the breaking of his tone, and I'm not talking breaking like he's shattering his voice in the sense that he's going flat or sharp or, it's actually super cool to hit that note, and it's like going in and out of this kind of space in his throat or in his vocal cords that's causing these weird little inflections on the top that you could, excuse me, you can only get from coming from here. Remember, I'm not a vocal coach, but he's giving everything he's got into those notes, All right, here we go. Finally, on the way. You know what I like about how they just let that note just dangle in the fade? That they recorded those guitars twice. You know what I'm saying? The little volumes as they come down, as they come down to these little signals and stuff, you can start hearing the difference in the sounds as it comes lower. Because when it's up in your face and they're coming at it two channels, recorded this, give you that hard split. When you're on, you're on. But when you start pulling those signals down, you can start hearing a little bit of like whether it's just hum from the cable or just a leftover note that's dangling on the side. Something else I want to say before I sign out here is I love the EQing of the kick. You go back and listen to this song. Listen to where just close your eyes and listen to where that kick truly hits you. We'll hear it a lot. Like for instance, Korn, in their earlier songs, you can hear that their kicks purposefully. This is a decision in dynamics and composition and engineering. And when I say composition, also in your mind as a composer, just because you write a note for a violin, there's so many different dynamics that the violin could perform that, or the guitar player. Excuse me. Engineering also makes a huge difference in that. And if you listen to a kick like on Korn's earlier stuff, you hear more of a tick. A very higher end and not so much on the lows and stuff. You hear this really punchy, knifey kick sound, whereas this is like thum, thum, and you really close your eyes, put your headsets on, and listen to how cool that the drum kick drum sounds. Anyhow, well, that's good for this morning. After after the other debacle, boy, I feel a little. Well, I feel old. You guys know me. The older I get, the better I was. I'm going to make those mistakes. I'm going to try not to make that mistake again, but can't guarantee you I won't either. Anyhow, thanks a lot for your suggestions. Thanks a lot for those of you. You guys did throw down some pretty heavy jokes. I did delete the video, obviously, but I was laughing my butt off. I was just going through my phone going, oh my God, I didn't do that, did I? Like, oh shit, I get enamored. Oh well, old guy fail. Thanks for your support. If you want to buy me some ginkgo or a cup of coffee, the link will be down below. Link down below for Spotify and merch for Deftones, and the link is down below for the headsets, AKG 240s. All right, guys. Take care. All right.